Hey, welcome back to another Monday. Oh, did we lost the spot? Oh yeah, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Oops. Welcome to another Monday. Cover lovers here. This is West Coast Big Rob on Instagram, coming through live from San Diego, California. And I'm excited to be here on the lovely Cover Lovers show. And our special, or our normal guest, our normal compatriot, our normal guy here, Mike Morello from CBSI's articles. What's up, Mike?
How's it going? What's up, cover lovers? Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat. It's been a good week. I'm back to school here in Tennessee. We start in August.
Ooh.
Boo.
Ooh.
So I actually started real work with students today, which is fine. I actually have great classes this year, but still, just getting back to the grind kind of sucks.
Teenagers.
So, I know they're not that bad. They're really not. I have seniors mostly anyway. So
how's the humidity though?
Oh, for God's sake, it's ridiculous. So at the end of the day today, we did this picture because it's the last year at the old school. They're opening a new school next year, and we're moving over there. So it's the last first day at our school ever. So we took this big picture with the HHS on the bleachers, and it was like 98 degrees.
Wow.
Full 100 humidity. I was actually soaked for real. I had another one of these shirts on, so this is like our school shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had another one of these. It was I actually wrung it out afterward. It was really, really bad. Yeah, so that's how we be here in Tennessee right now. It's really gross, but yeah. Anyway, I'm really happy to be here and
indoors,
kind of an awful day to make have some fun talking about covers with you fools.
Awesome, Jeff.
Well, this is Jeff at Geek Driven, and I am extremely happy to be here on a Monday talking about covers, incentives, and store exclusives, and just talking about, geeking out about covers and what we like and don't like. I can't wait to talk about that, and I really can't wait to our last subject of the day. So if you know what's going on in social media in the comic book community, you know what we're about to talk about at the end of the show. So we've got our own personal opinions. I actually haven't talked to the fellas about it, so I'm actually curious on what they think. So
you know me, I'm gonna get really colorful. We've got there's two things going on. So I'm in two hobbies. I collect vinyl as well as comics, and there's a shitstorm going on in the vinyl world right now too. So
what happened? How collect vinyl? What happened?
MoFi essentially got called out. But so MoFi is Mobile Fidelity. They charge like $100 to $150 for represses.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be these audiophile level.
Yeah. Crazy,
records, right?
Yeah, big time shit.
Well, they finally got called out on the carpet by a Instagrammer called the Ingroove, who's also on Whatnot.
Is that the one? That's a store from Arizona?
Yep, saying that all of their stuff is sourced from digital CDs. And they denied it at first. And so he just lit up Instagram and all the social media, and they finally came out and admitted that their stuff is sourced from CDs.
Wow.
That's terrible,
bro. Which essentially means there's shit. So now everybody's canceling orders left and right. Like they're in a world of hurt right now. So yeah, it's
they're done.
Good. I don't know. I don't collect that side of the stuff. I collect originals only.
It's expensive.
And Mobile Fidelity is like one of these. It feels like false rarity, or it feels like false value. So I never bought into it, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't own a single one. But I know a lot of people own a lot of those, and they're really expensive.
They're basically the short print variants of the vinyl world.
They are. If you guys remember gold CDs, it's the same kind of like gimmick.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So anyway, so that's going on over there. So I'm dealing with all that, which is really kind of fun. And then we got the thing going on over here, comic wise, which we'll get to at the end of the show, which is going to get really colorful. So
well, before we get to all that, let's give a shout out to our four horsemen. Let's give a shout out to Uncle Rudy Santi Rudy, One and Something Wong, Deanime Exetera, and Glenn 2K12. Thank you, fellas. Really appreciate the four horsemen. Also, we want to give a shout out to our resident DJ Eddie at Beats by Monster. So everybody go follow everybody, check them out, and thank you, Eddie. Can't wait to the next con. All right, and then we can give a shout out to our chat. And look who's first. Doreen, what's going on, Batmite?
Hey, Doreen.
I've got your comic. Let me know when we can meet up. And then we've got, well, look at that. Doing double duty. All right. And we've also got Ricardo Alvarado. Thank you so much for dropping in. Really appreciate it. And then we've got Sarah. What's up, She Geek? All right. And yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We're waiting till the end to talk about it. So you got to stick around if you want to be part of that chat. Don't sleep on us. You got to stay.
Glenn has made the trek from across the pond. Thank you, sir. And we've got K-pop junkie. What's going on? Yes, we are all nerds here. Kenneth Bird, thank you so much for jumping in. We can't wait to hopefully show you what we like and don't like, and let us know what you think. And then we've got Blackgate Comics. What's up? What's going on? Thank you for dropping in. And we are all caught up.
I thought that was going to be Black Flag Comics.
That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome.
Look, did you see me pause when I looked at it? I paused for like a second. I was like,
No. I would still say that shit. I would still say exactly what I was going to say. I don't care if he's here or not. I'm going to probably offend a bunch of people tonight.
No, so. I'm going to say my truth. I'm probably going to get punched in the face on social media, but that's what it is.
I don't care. I have 4 followers. It's not true. I have more than that, but still.
We're good as long as we tell them what we think. That's all. Just an opinion.
Me being on or off Instagram doesn't change what I buy one way or another. And it certainly doesn't change my opinion about what I buy. So,
But Big Rob, is it time?
Yes, sir. It's time. It's Vader time.
I'm sorry.
No. There you go. Okay. All right. So another cover lovers. Let's do this. What's up first? Incentives, like always. First off, we got Judgment Day, Avengers. What issue is this? Number 2 by the 1 in 50 by Carol Andrews and Mark Brooks, a 1 in 100. Jeff.
So there's a 1 in 100. Yeah, it's always these specialty events that they're always going to put that 1 in 100. Doesn't matter what number issue it is. I'm actually okay with both of them. I don't really. Andrews is a little too much on the lightning. I think that's just my personal opinion. It's not bad. It's a little dark, so I don't get to see all the details. The Mark Brooks one is that's okay too. Actually, I kind of like it. I obviously don't know what's going on here. I'm assuming that's an Eternal. I mean, not an Eternal, Celestial.
Celestial, yeah.
But I mean, it looks cool perspective wise as well. I'm never gonna buy a 1 in 100 unless it knocks me off my feet.
Agreed.
And that Carrie Andrews is not a 1 in 50 worth. I might say a 1 in 25, but that's as high as I'll go. But it's not bad. I like how you have Asgard. I like how that looks, like the Rainbow Bridge is right behind it. So I mean, it's got some really cool aspects to it. I just, Thor's a little too dark, too much lightning going on. Maybe that's the perspective, but it's not my type. So I'm actually going to pass on both.
Mike?
I will also pass on both for what you said already, Jeff, which is that like even 1 in 50s kind of have to knock my socks off, to be honest with you. 1 in 100s absolutely have to. I can only think of one that I've purchased in the last couple of years, and that's that Jenny Frisson death. I can't
keep rubbing that, aren't you?
No. I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to do that.
No, you have every right to. I dropped the ball.
But it's just one of those books that did actually like knock me off my feet, like you said. And so I insta bought it, and I bought it, kind of with shipping, close to ratio. And to me, it was worth it, regardless of what it ended up being worth it. Granted, I got lucky and it's worth like 3 or 4 times what I paid for it. But how often does that happen? Not very often, especially for a book like this. That's a big event. It's going to be printed big. People are going to overpay at first. But from the art perspective, I like Carrie Andrews a lot more than I like this cover from Carrie Andrews. When I see other Carrie Andrews, some of his covers do blow me away. Simple things, stuff like on his AWA books that are just crazy, crazy good. This one doesn't really do that for me from Carrie. I think it's sort of a, I don't know. It almost feels like, and I'm sorry, Carrie, to say this out loud because we've talked before, but it feels a little bit like a sellout cover. Like, this doesn't feel like you, bro. This feels like you're trying to be somebody else for whatever reason. Maybe you're just trying to tread new ground. That's cool, but at the end of the day, it's just not for me. It's a little overwrought. There's too much stuff going on, way too much lightning. I agree with you. Some cool touches like Asgard in the back and the Rainbow Bridge and that kind of thing. But I'm just not a huge fan of the way the character is done. The Mark Brooks, on the other hand, I really love that piece. I don't 1 in 100 love it, but I think it's a really cool perspective on a character or a group of characters that doesn't get drawn very often. The Celestials are kind of the redheaded stepchildren of comic covers, which makes no sense to me because they're so effing cool looking. They're basically just another Galactus looking thing that you can make super epic. And I think Brooks did a great job making this character look. I don't know which one it is. I mean, the names are, does anyone know all the names anyway? I mean, it's like
the Celestials.
Bargain.
I'm sure this is the one that was in the movie.
Gamnon or what? Yeah, it's probably the one. I don't know. I remember a couple of them, but I don't know them all. And they all kind of look the same, or at least similar enough that I can't tell the difference. But either way, putting the characters in the foreground in silhouette gives great perspective on how big the Celestial is. I do kind of like the touch of the power lines because it kind of gives a little bit of a real world feel to it. I think this is a really, really beautiful piece of art. But again, like, I would love for this to be on like a 1 in 25 that felt a little bit more in line with the art. Because to pay $100 for well, I don't think this will be $100 anyway. I think this book will be like a $50 book, $45-$50. So maybe it's worth that from an art perspective. But again, like, it's really tough to sell villainish kind of cover like that.
Erisham.
It needs to be like a hot girl or like Wolverine or Spawn or, those kinds of covers done this well would probably sell really well. But I don't know if a Celestial's really cutting it.
All right. Before I start my opinion on this, on 2 notes. On a sad tip, RIP Olivia Newton-John. I just found out earlier. She passed away.
Oh, yes.
Sandy from Greece.
Yes.
Yeah, on a happy note, happy Spam Masubi Day. Yay.
Damn it. Now I want to spam Masubi. You suck.
I just had one for free. I had a free one, so I'm giving them out today. All right. So on the actual books, I'm not going to say much. You guys pretty much said it all. For me personally, the 1 in 100 is pretty basic. I'm surprised not a bunch of baby oil on the characters like Mark Brooks usually does. So I'm shocked on that part, but it's
you have it on. It's just they're in silhouette, so you can't see it.
You can't see it, right? It's cool. I guess it's fine, but it's cover B to me. The Carrie Andrews, number one, I wouldn't buy another because it will be way too expensive and they're not worth it. But at least Carrie Andrews reminds me of art from like an old school van on the side.
Yes.
And some 100 spokes on the rims. So yeah, that at least that has that value to me. It reminds me of the vans from the 80s. So, but regardless, they're both skips.
Shit, that makes me like it more now.
Yeah. Cheech and Chong. Remember that van from Cheech and Chong? Remember that
I
fucking
kind of dig it more now. I kind of want it.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I don't want it.
Nah, this is for me $5. I'll buy it, but that'll be good. All right, we spent enough time on this guy. Let's move it on. Predator. No, I'm sad now. I know. Sorry. A Predator number 1. The 1 in 25 from Ryan Brown, and also the 1 in 50 from Philip Tan. Pretty epic covers. Mike.
I like them both, to be perfectly honest with you. I kind of wish they were sort of reversed, to be honest with you. I feel like the brown is more of a 1 in 50 and the tan is more of a 1 in 25, but that's sort of being nitpicky. I think they're both really, really pretty covers. These have the feel of those old Dark Horse covers, which I love, both the Alien and the Predator covers. And I think that these do great depictions of the character. There might be just a touch too much stuff kind of going on in the background on the Philip Tan, which sort of interrupts
the skulls,
the main figure in the front because the coloring's really similar. I know there's more blue in the foreground and more red in the background, but still there's kind of a blend that's happening that's making it a little bit. I'm looking at a thumbnail, so that's a little tough. But But that's a great tan. It's maybe one of his best in a long time. The Ryan Brown just has like the attitude. I don't know. It has what I want a Predator cover to have. If I would choose between the two, it would be the Ryan Brown. I think it's the better cover. It feels more like the 1 in 50 to me. But both covers are really solid.
Great. Jeff, what's up, man?
Well, I kind of actually just agree with Mike because it's a better finished product for the brown.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tan is more obscure, or at least not a typical Predator look. You know how Predator looks. It looks kind of slightly different, a little more muscular on the legs, and probably crouching in a way I've never seen it crouch before. So I like both, but I'm definitely like the brown more. So I mean, just for the fact that it's a 1 in 25, I mean, scoop it up. Just if you like the cover, it's going to be cheaper than the tan. That's for sure. So this is one of your chances to get a nice Predator cover for cheaper than, one of the more expensive ones for that issue.
Stores will likely order 25 copies of this. Most of my stores probably will either do it or come close. I'm guessing not very many of them will order 50, but
on a Predator number 1, you don't think so?
Not my small shops. I mean, my one slightly larger shop might get 50 copies just in order to get the Philip Tan. They're that shop that would do it just to get the 1 in 50 incentive. But I'd be happy. I'd be happy all day to get the 1 in 25 anyway. And I think in my area, it's going to be 1 or 2 of these per store. So.
Yeah, because I would assume shops would order heavy on this. Predator, usually number 1 Marvel, long and waited series run, right?
You would think so.
Yeah, you think so. For me, I'm in agreement again with the guys here. And the 1 in 25 is the obvious pick. Just something about it. The coloring just so much better. It actually has a little bit of the orange and black, and that reminds me of Halloween colors too as well. So I dig that. What's in the back? What the hell is he standing on, a rock?
Yeah,
I think
like a statue.
So. It looks like a hand of a statue.
The brown kind of gives me that Batman Jim Lee. Not Jim. Is it Jim Lee? Yeah.
You know what?
Where he's standing over the statue, the gargoyle.
No, you know what it looks like to me, Mike? Like a dewback.
It kind of does. Actually.
Really? Oh yeah.
Because look at the eye off to the right hand side there.
Yeah, it looks like a dewback. You killed a dewback, fucking asshole. But it's the 1 in 50. The 1 in 50 is nothing wrong with it. It's just the skulls might be. I think if it didn't have the skulls and just a big Predator head in the background, it would have been cool. But it's just a little too much with the skulls. I think the coloring's a little off too. I think, but it's still fine. But the Ryan Brown is the obvious pick, and price wise, it should be better.
Yep. So I also hate where Philip Tan put his little signature thing.
Yeah, right there in the middle, right?
Why is it right there? I don't know.
Over the leg.
Yeah, seriously, that's a bad choice.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this is Dark Crisis World with Worlds Without a Justice League. Green Lantern number 1, by Mauricio. No, it's a dewback. Mauricio Facilla is a 1 in 25, and then the 1 in 50 foil is for Fernando Blanco. Jeff.
All right, what book is this again?
This is a Dark Crisis.
Worlds Without a Justice League. Dark Crisis Worlds Without Justice League.
Oh, it's a DC book? I'm throwing this.
Green Lantern number 1 also. If we forgot one. It's the longest title in the fucking world. It's like Steve's Instagram name. But
look, if I had to pick, I'm picking the Blanco.
Yeah.
It's just the better art to me.
Plus it's foil.
Yeah, and it's foil, so I'm kind of curious on how it will look.
Like shit.
You're probably not wrong.
Positivity, Mike.
But
you wish it weren't foil.
But it's not bad art either. I really have a problem with DC picking their incentive covers. These are not incentive covers that I feel incentive to buy.
Their cover Bs are better, typically.
Absolutely. Yeah. Their card stocks are usually better.
Yep. This week in almost every case. Last week too. Almost every single one was better. The B covers are almost all better.
It's usually the case, yeah.
Honestly, every week it's a struggle for me to find just one DC incentive book that I really like for that week, and it's just because they, like I said, they have bad choices. The B cover always looks better, and why spend $20, $25, $30, $35, $50 when you can spend $5?
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Every single day. I agree with
Every time. Yeah.
But we actually might have a decent DC cover later on too, so we'll just
Oh, all right.
stay tuned for that.
That's crazy talk.
I think we know your opinion already, Mike. But go ahead.
Pass on both.
Green.
pass on both. These are just okay. They're
Okay.
The 1 in 25 is a little busy. The 1 in 50. I wish it weren't a foil, actually, because the art isn't terrible. It's got a cool sort of flow to it. So I don't hate it, but I like it only as like an A or B cover. I certainly don't like it as a 1 in 50 that could cost as much as $30 or $40. Definitely not worth that to me. And it's Green Lantern. I mean, talk about a zero spec book. I mean, you better like this. Right? You better like it if you're going to buy it, because it ain't going to be worth shit.
Oh, that really hurts.
I know.
And Green Lantern should be awesome, man, but it's never pans out.
Yeah, it's just because when you get Artur's trying to write a freaking superhero movie, you get Artur bullshit.
Well, that's a movie, yeah, but even in the books, it never pans out. It's like Blackest Night was the only real big hit they really had.
Yeah. Yep. And hey, Doreen, you're right. Those Jock covers have looked better in person. I did buy my one favorite one of those. So they have looked cool. So you're right. The foil could look good. You're right. I will reserve judgment until I see this in person. But in general, when you take a colored piece of art like this and foil it, you have foiled it.
Get the hell out of here.
Let's move it on. Dad jokes tonight.
All right, sheet number 8.
Oh, Roy's a dad.
By Arthur, sheet number 8, Limited Virgin by Arthur Sudion, and Limited Virgin by Lucio Parillo. Mike?
I'm going to talk about the trade dress ones of both of these in Cover Fire this week. I didn't choose the Sweedam or however you say it, because if you blow it up, it looks very much like it's just a retouched photo. At least the Rhino does anyway.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he didn't paint that. So that bothers me a lot, although the cover's badass. I mean, if we're talking about like this is a cosplay cover, it's the best fucking cosplay cover ever. So I love the cover, but I didn't choose it just because, like I said, it felt like a retouched photo to me. It's the same problem I often have with Raza, because they do often feel like retouched photos. The Perillo is just amazing. I mean, just the leopard print alone. Look, I know there's all kinds of sex going on the cover, right? Boobs, butts, all kinds of great stuff for those of you that like such things. But just that leopard print alone has to scream master painter to you. And if that's not enough, the tree is super badass too. And then, of course, add on a nearly perfect woman on top of it, and it is
moon, stars.
I mean, it is a no-brainer. These, again, just as a reminder, most of the time these are not incentivized. These are like $50 buy-in, order what you want right from Dynamite. So this is, one of those situations where if these covers are some of your favorites, then, $50 isn't too terrible. And you're assured of getting one. You don't have to go hunt for an incentive. So I kind of like the model, actually. It sort of forces buyers to buy what they like and not just go after spec, which is kind of cool. Whereas the old versions of these used to be incentivized. They used to be limited. There'd be like 50 copies, right? So if you have a version of the Friss and Vampirilla number 1 or one of the Red Sonias, there's only 50 copies of those, which is crazy. So yeah, I doubt she's a virgin as well. The Perillo is the clear winner to me for all kinds of reasons, but I do really like the Sweedam cover. I think it's a cool cover. I just wish it didn't look so much like it.
You said his name so many different ways already. Sorry.
I think it's Sweedam or Sweedam, isn't it?
I thought Sudiam.
I don't know. I should have asked him when I met him. How do you say your fucking name, bro? But I didn't. He's a very odd cat. I didn't really want to talk to him very long. It was just like, please draw on this and sign this. Thanks.
Couldn't stare into his deep blue eyes. Jeff.
Yeah, I don't. I do and I don't dig the Sweetum or whatever his name is. Sorry, Arthur.
Studio.
It's just because like the main character of the whole page of the whole cover is like very light it's washed with light. Too much light. So I don't I don't get to see the details. It's the same thing when it's too dark or too bright.
Mm-hmm.
I never get to see the details, and that is your bread and butter as an artist, is showing how detailed you can be on certain things. And the fact that if the rhino isn't fully done by him and it is a retouch, that makes this even a worse cover. So I'm definitely gonna go with the Morello just because, but again, I don't collect Sheena, I don't collect, Lady Death or any of those. So it's just because it just looks cleaner, and you're like you said, the leopard print is amazing. I swear to God, I looked at it and I was going, I swear he's a painter, and it looks like digital art.
Everything's painted.
So I was just like, wow, okay. So yeah, that's why I say every time, if someone can paint and make a cover look like it's digital, they have some skills.
I don't collect Sheena, but I collect butts, so I'm buying this one. I'm buying the trade dress version of it. I won't buy the $50 version.
Yeah. Well, I guess I agree with everything you said, and artistically wise, the Morello is the one to go. That one's the better one because you could tell he actually did the art, and the other one from Studion, it's probably is Photoshop. The rhino he probably didn't drew. That's probably a live action rhino. He just kind of played with the filters on Photoshop and made it look that way, and just dropped the girl he drew on top of her and compositing images there. But regardless, if I saw these two books on a shelf, which one would I buy? Probably the Studion because it's just a cooler cover, my opinion. Because it's a fucking rhino she's riding. So it's like you don't see too many rhinos on the cover, that's for sure. I agree. The artistry of the woman, the tree, the leopard print is amazing. It's never. It's a hands down.
We don't speak upon that.
Glenn, while you were writing that, I was thinking that because of my last comment, somebody was going to say that I should buy both covers because there's.
Technically, the first one is a double butt cover, so I'm saying
it is a double butt cover. You're right.
But yeah, if I just saw, I'm just haphazardly just looking at the rack. I'm buying the Studion because it's just a badass cover.
The rhino looks horny.
Thanks, Six Boy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. Sorry.
No worries.
That's too funny. That's too funny.
So yeah, I guess I'll be the contrarian on this one, but yeah, I'll take the Studion.
I might buy them both too if I see them both on the shelf tomorrow. I might, or Wednesday.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
All right, let's move on. I'm not sure what the hell this is, but it's a samurai doggy. Is that doggy?
Yes.
Samurai
doggy. From Aftershock, it's a number one. It's from Juan Do. 1 in 25. Mike.
This is so much of a no. I mean, have we really run out of ideas that badly that we need samurai doggy? Really? Are we there? Is that where we've gotten? Because what the fuck is happening? It's also not a great cover. It's
that's an understatement.
So on top of that, it also is not a great cover. It's not a horrible cover, but it's just not a great cover.
It's generic.
It's very generic. It looks like an interior panel to me, and not even a good interior panel at that. So it's just okay. And I've seen, and I like some of Wando's stuff. He's got some good stuff. This is not among them.
Jeff, what's up?
Oh my God. Chat, you are on fire today.
Ace Ventura. Let's see. I can't with this. Like, okay, the only thing good about this whole thing is his name. His name is John Doe, bro.
Yeah.
It is John Doe. That's
It
right.
is John Doe.
So
Just the
thank
Mexican
you
version.
for that good humor in picking your name. That's awesome. I really don't think his last name is Doe, but uh this is just, if this was an A cover, I'd be like, still.
Right.
And so as a 1 in 25, just like his name is DOA.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I'm sorry, it's a non-starter when that's a 1 in 25.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, for a 1 in 25 is definitely a must skip. It's so generic, the art. But I am curious about the concept of a samurai doggy. It has to be hilarious. Number one, what
I'm
the fuck
sure
is
it
it?
It
is.
better be.
Yeah, so imagine it was actually good art, like a Morello art, or like some actually a good artist drawing, like a good, or at least not, maybe Juan Do is good artist, but actual art that actually makes you curious to find out what's
Like
happening
Stan
inside.
Sakai art.
Yeah, something, right? Just something to bring you into the book.
It's
But
too on the nose, right? Because it's samurai doggy. He's showing a samurai doggy.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. It just he drew it too cartoonish, and it's just not piquing my interest. I want a little more edge to it, especially since it's a silly subject, samurai doggy.
Oh,
So
man, you guys are full of dad jokes over there tonight. Damn. The chat. It's crazy.
it's a bunch of old dads in this chat.
No, seriously. Oh man, we've just dated our entire chat. We know exactly how old everybody is.
Yeah, we're all old.
They're
All
all
right,
me.
let's move it on here. All right, next one. Deceased War of Undead Gods, number 1. The 1 in 25 from Francesco Mattina. Jeff.
I actually like this. I'm gonna say this as I start. It's it's not the kind of cover I usually will go for. I don't like just the bust of the character, and that's it, and like no background basically either. So it's kind of plain. But the fact is the dynamic of the actual character itself. I actually like the digging in, the clawing of herself. Basically, it kind of looks like that's what she's doing. The zombified Supergirl. I like Matina. This is probably not his best work. But Matina usually does what the cardstock B covers for like Detective or Batman. And I really like a lot of his covers. So this actually catches my eye a little bit more than most of the other DC ones. Is it 1 in 25? No, it's probably a B cover to me again.
Yeah.
But,
and it is a B cover.
Well, look at that.
Because it's the same cover that's in the damn body bag variant this week. I ripped one open yesterday. I know. Go ahead, fire me. I don't care. I ripped one open yesterday at my LCS, and it's just a bloodier version of the same exact cover inside the body bag thing, and that's only a $6 book.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Sick.
So I don't know why anyone would buy this. The other one's cooler, and it's like a fifth of the price. So there's your spoiler alert tomorrow, guys. If you see the black bagged ones, that's what's inside. This cover, but more blood.
Unless there's something in the book, right? That's the only other.
Yeah, I guess unless there's something in the book, that's true.
Yeah, but typically there's not for these books. But
although it is a number 1, right?
Yeah, it's a number 1. These are highly popular. The disease runs are always very popular. People love the storylines. I ain't gonna add much more. You guys pretty much said it all. It's a cool cover. It's not a buy for me. I would probably just buy the B cover if I was going to buy it. So awesome. All right, let's keep the truck in here. I like this one. X-Men Legends 125 by Nico Enricon.
Start, Big Rob.
Me? I'll start. Okay. Since I like it, right? Well, it's obviously an homage to 181, but it's a very, I guess,
different perspective.
Yeah, different perspective. Watercolor stuff, touch very Momoko-ish vibe to it, but a good one.
Fucking shit, dude.
Well said.
Yeah, it's a little dig
you
on her. I love her.
Rob here, Mike.
I love her. I know, but you gotta dig. You gotta. Yeah. Hey, man, we have standards, Momoko. Bring your shit up. You know you can do better. So it's good. I love the just the if you look at the floor, the back, like actual like the floor, the disaster, the chaos on the floor, the leaves everywhere just flying everywhere, and the branches breaking. That
Mm.
that's really talented the way he drew that. Right? You could tell that took time, and just the detail in it is really awesome, and the background and just the blending of the forest shadowing with the characters on like their chests and stuff. That looks great. The fucking font ruins it, honestly. Get this fucking ugly ass font out of the way, but it's
Or match the style. Shit.
yeah, right. At least kind of blend it in, dude. The font people need to work with the artist and say, hey, we need to blend it in a little better here. But
Not
the
only
one and what? Sorry, go ahead. What's up?
No, I'll say it when it's my turn.
Okay. The 1 in 25. It might be.
You're
It
damn
might
right,
be
Doreen.
and it has purple pants. Yes, that's right. I love my purples. 1 in 25. I would be tempted, but I'm not purchasing because I'm just not longer that crazy appraiser anymore, buying all the incentives. But it's a really cool cover. I really appreciate it, Nico. I think you did an awesome job. Mike, what's up, man?
So I agree with Sticks Boy. I like that this is not a straight homage. I'm a lot of respect to that. I'm getting really, really sick of the straight homages.
Yeah.
The only cool ones have been these these Harley ones that are coming that are sort of like redone iconic covers from the Batman stuff. Those I kind of dig, and they've really not been done that way before. But man, 181's been done to death. This doesn't feel like that, and this feels fresh and new and exciting. And and I've never disliked Momoko's style. I've just disliked her execution in a lot of ways lately, or at least on a majority of her books. So I like this cover. I like the light coloring, the sort of subtle coloring with the watercolor. I agree with you about the font, not only about what you said, but the actual perspectives on the X and the men are different. Look where the shadows are.
It's horrible.
X straight ahead at you, and men is technically tilted, right? It's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awful. It's super distracting.
Oh my God. It's really bad.
It's really, really bad. Why they're not using the little circle thing that they've been using over the last couple of years is beyond me. Yeah. But we're back to this awful version of the old symbol, which is really not good. So I hate a few things about this cover, but I do appreciate what it is. I think if this were like $10, I might buy it, but I certainly won't buy it at ratio. That's for sure.
That'd be tough to find $10. It is
I know
Hulk and Wolverine on the cover. So
I know it's likely to be. It's probably going to be above ratio because of that. But
I mean, maybe you find it for 15 because it's an X-Men Legends.
Yeah,
but also, how many people are buying 25 X-Men Legends?
Unlikely.
It might be hard to find too. So there you go. 25, probably $25 to buy this. Yeah.
Probably.
See if any are for sale now.
I like them. There's only I have one issue other than obviously with the trade dress. Is just the perspective on Hulk, just a little bit. Short legs and and a really obscure body wideness. But other than that, it's watercolor. So I mean, you kind of expect maybe a different take on perspective. But I actually kind of like it. I like the fact that, like Mike said and Stick said, it's not a straight up homage. I like that. I actually kind of would dig it more if people were doing homages, but maybe from a different angle or perspective of that same homage cover, right? That we understand that it's kind of an homage, but it's not straight up biting. So
plus,
go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say, especially if it's an action scene homage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, how many 181 homages have we seen in the last year?
I guess not enough for the buyers. They're buying this shit up.
I guess not.
But
go ahead.
I have some good news about the trade dress. If you look these up on eBay, there's 2 other versions of what the trade dress might look like, and they're both way better than this.
Okay, so we have some hope.
So there's some hope. There's the slanted yellow and blue X-Men. It looks like the colors ended up being brighter on the finished product too. I don't know if any of these are in hand yet. So that one's cool. I don't know if it'll end up being that. And then there are some that have this, but it's moved over towards the center and it's got the old strip along the top, like old school, like 70s, like Bronze Age, which makes this not look quite as bad. So
thanks, Kenneth.
Hopefully it's one of those two and not this.
Yeah, that logo is.
I'm kind of hoping
trash.
for the yellow slanted one, because the yellow slanted one's the old school, sort of looks more like the cartoon. And that fits a lot better, especially in contrast against the yellow on Wolverine's costume. So
awesome. Okay. All right.
I hope it's that one. We'll see tomorrow or Wednesday, I guess. But
yeah, Wednesday for sure. All right, let's see what we got next here. This is, where's the title? Harley Quinn number 19 by Jimbo Box, 1 in 25. And I don't know, Mike, this might be another.
Oh, you're so gonna hate this.
Yeah, it's another ones that we might not
I can already
like.
tell.
So I'll let Mike go first because I think he'll answer for all of us here. So
the fuck is this shit? Come on, man. Seriously, are we buy manga? Sorry. If you want this, go buy manga. This is Harley. This isn't Harley on this cover. I don't even know who this is on this cover. What is going on here? First of all, for Harley 19 this week, you want that homage cover to whatever the first Robin, whatever issue that is. That's the one. It's way better than this. I've already had like 5 people talk to my LCS about wanting that. Nobody wants this crap. This is the wrong book for this. This is just the wrong book for this. This is not where this should be. This art style should be on something else. I'm not making fun of it, Rob, but this should be like maybe on a Street Fighter book. Like that would fit. That's the right thing for.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It doesn't even look like fucking Harley Quinn. It looks like Cammy or somebody else.
Okay, you know what it literally looks like? It looks like Sailor Moon.
It does look like Sailor Moon. It's exactly
really
what it looks
effed up. I was like, "Is that Sailor Moon?" And then you read it, and I was like, "That's a Harley Quinn book."
Well, I'm surprised they didn't bring up the issue we usually have Harley Quinn books. Is that they make her?
Yeah, she's like a little tiny girl. Yeah,
yes.
She's 15 years old again. It's like
I know,
she's not 15. She's a grown woman.
That's my problem with manga in general. It's sort of like it looks like kiddie stuff. Like it gets
creepy. Very close to hentai shit.
It does. Yeah. It's creepy. I don't like it. I don't like it for that reason. It just doesn't. This isn't the place for it. A mainstream DC book should not have a cover like that. And it has nothing to do with the character. She's not supposed to be 9 years old or 11 years old like she looks in this cover. And it doesn't even look like Harley at the end of the day. The art isn't bad. I mean, but it's completely on the wrong book. And who is she? Gambit throwing cards at me? What's going on?
I know, right?
I don't understand anything that's going on in this cover. It's almost like they put the wrong image on a Harley book. Like this wasn't supposed to be on Harley. It was supposed to be on something else.
It might have been just he had a reused art and he's just like, fuck it, I'll throw it on Harley Quinn.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I definitely it throws me off. It doesn't look like Harley Quinn. There is no face makeup. There is no craziness to it. There's no insanity to it. It's literally doesn't represent Harley Quinn whatsoever.
Hyena, a hammer,
nothing. Right? A mallet, a pop gun. I don't know. Like
the right colors on the costume, for God's sake.
The right colors, exactly. Like I said, that's why it reminds me of Sailor Moon. It has those kind of anime kind of colors. Those, teal and purple and pink, and so I'm good. I'm again bad freaking choice for look, the art itself is not bad, just doesn't fit what it's on. It's just like people complaining about all those Spider-Man variants that are on Captain America, Avengers, Fantastic Four. You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of the same deal, right? Who the hell is that, and why is it on a Harley Quinn cover?
Hadouken. Yeah. I'm not going to add much to that. Yeah, I agree with you guys. It's obvious this shouldn't be on this particular book. But it's fine art. It's just wrong book. Let's move it on. Enough said. All right, next one. Actually, here is the one I was talking about. The actually cool DC cover this week. I Am Batman number 12 by Jorge Molina, 1 in 25. I'll start it off real quick. It's I love the colors because the bright orange immediately catches my eye, with contrast with the Dark Knight, right? He's some dark brooding colors, and the Morris heck was dope as hell. different perspective for Batman. Typically, we don't see him from the back like this, especially with the turning of his head like that. And the bats are just coming towards the, I guess we call that the, I forget what you said, the word foreground of some shit like that. So it looks cool. It's very Halloweenish type, right? Because of the coloring. And is it a 125? Maybe, yeah. It's almost like a playing, like a trade, like a card, like a trading card or a poker card kind of vibe to it almost. So I like it. Jorge Molina is a really good artist. I always appreciate his work, and there's another winner for him in my opinion. Mike?
Yeah, I agree. And this has sort of a Michael Cho feeling, the other Cho, for those that don't know who Michael Cho is. He did a bunch of those 1 in 10s back from Marvel ages ago. And I, at one point, was trying to track them all down because they had this really cool sort of Mondo art look to them. Yep. This really solid color stuff, like a very cool use of shape and layout. And I really appreciate that on this cover. This is really good. This is my favorite cover of everything that we're going to look at today, I think.
Wow.
Just because it's different. Again, it's Batman. So we get to see a little bit, like you said, something different. The motorcycle's done well. Everything's laid out really well. There's nice choices. Nothing's overdone, right? So like not too many bats. The moon's not too big.
Logo's perfect. Logo's perfect in the corner.
Yeah, right. Logo, yeah, nice and small up there. Even the freaking barcode's not in a terrible spot for once. I do like the border. It actually ties into the moon. I like that the sort of the I am Batman part has you can see the image through it. That's a cool choice.
Yeah.
So you don't ruin anything by doing that. I like this. This is a master class in layout. And that goes a really long way for me. And it pops. So I really like it. I think I might actually pay close to ratio for this if I saw it. I wouldn't balk at $20, that's for sure.
Yes, Batmite. It's a fox. It's not a Bruce. I agree with all of you in the sense of like this is like pop art from like 70s, maybe early 80s.
Yeah.
I really dig that. So my thing is the reason why I can accept that and still be a little critical about the bike is like, so with the bike, I feel like I don't know if it's not detailed enough or maybe it is it's just kind of a mush for me in the sense. It's not like I can't make out certain parts of the bike. I mean, I can tell there's an engine, but still it's just not the best motorcycle, but I can forgive it for the rest of it. I mean, Batman looks great. The bats look great. The background is perfect. The coloring, like I said, it brings out that pop art. And the fact that what I really like about this is it does have that border, right? But the characters and the item and the objects do not stay within that border. I really like how it comes out like that. So
yeah, very cool.
It's very cool in that sense. And 1 in 25 Anna Molina, I'm good with that too. I love Molina's work, and this is worthy of a 1 in 25. I actually wouldn't even be upset if it was 1 in 50 actually. So yeah, you might be pushing it, but yeah, I like this one. This is not bad. I kind of surprised it's a DC.
Yay, DC won for 1 week. All right, so let's move it on. Let's see to store exclusives.
We're getting closer. Oh, we're getting closer. I can taste it.
John Tony Christopher's store variant, Star Wars. I don't even know what it is. 28. This is obviously his negative variant of Luke from Return of the Jedi or Mandalorian, what do you want to use. And I'm not sure what the secret action figure was for this cover because I don't think he released that image yet, that artwork. So, Mike, Star Wars man.
These are both tired concepts. I'm so sick of both of these things. Enough is enough on these, for God's sake. Man, none of them are bad. If they were the first time we ever saw either of these, we'd all be going apeshit for them. But come on, man. You've beaten the horse so far past death that it's literally, you might as well it's chopped meat now. Like it's really bad. Enough is enough. These are
It's a shame.
hard passes on both. And look, I've met John Tyler Christopher, super nice guy. And honestly, if people keep buying this stuff, I'd keep making them too if I were him. It's not a criticism of him, but these are hard passes for me. Enough is enough.
Now Mike's not criticizing the art; he's criticizing the buyers.
I mean, I don't know what the art is on the.
But it's the truth.
I don't know what it is on the one. I mean, it's the same. That's the stock background that he always uses. And the Luke, honestly, this time looks like it might even be, I don't know, looks like he used a photo to do that one, but I'm not really sure.
I'll go next. I just want to add, I think the head of Luke is way too big for his body. It's a giant head on those shoulders from what I see. Curious to see what the action figure was. Yeah, I agree with Mike. It's tiresome. He's killed us to death, but that's obvious. The green color looks cool. That's the cool thing about it, but it's. I didn't buy it. I skipped it, and I'm a big Star Wars guy, so it wasn't worth it for me. I'm pretty sure.
By the way, you guys all know I'm a huge Star Wars guy too. I mean, look around me in my room, for God's sake. But
yeah. So
you can only milk me so far before I'm done.
That sounded so wrong in so many ways, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It was I wasn't in the mood for this, so I was like, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's still sell for $100 on the secondary market and all that crap. But Jeff,
so I guess I'm the sucker.
I
haven't been collecting recently as long as you guys have, so I'm not too over these variant covers. There are certain ones I'm just completely tired of, but I get it. The action figure cover has been done for like I don't know how many damn years now. And
I had them all at one point until I got to a full overflowing short box of them. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why do I have these? I have the actual action figures in that room. Why do I want comic covers that mimic them? So it was like,
I get it. For me, since I've seen the other Luke one that he did, and the fact that it's orange.
Yeah, that's true.
I wanted the green. I want you to give me a green or a blue one, right? So because he made it green, I bought it. It's Luke's color. It's the color of his lightsaber. So I felt like that was more fitting for it than the orange one. So that's just my opinion. And this is Jedi Knight Luke, so I kind of like that too.
You have to defend yourself to us, bro. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it.
Look, I'll be honest. I bought 3 of them. Who knows if I'll give any away or if I'll get any, graded, or if I even just sell it.
Look, it's not a bad cover. It's just that it's so overdone for us that I think that it's white noise in this case, green noise to a lot of us. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the cover. And you're right, the green does pop. It's nice. It's a nice color. And it's way better than the orange.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like we all say, to each your own, and if it's your taste and you like it, go get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not everybody has the same taste.
Yeah, these are just opinions, folks. That's not the law.
There's only one wrong opinion in comics, and it's coming at the end of our show today.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the majority has said. Majority has stated it's wrong. All right. All right. Next one. Oh, this Alonzo marked this as the ugly. It's from Eastside Comics, Comic Man, Karis Comics, Mutant Beaver. This is a C2E2 variant. Shannon Mayer's Daredevil #1. Jeff.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, he makes variant covers of guys look very feminine. Am I correct? Am I just imagining this? Because I swear he has more covers like with males that are more feminine looking. I don't have a problem with them necessarily looking more feminine looking. I have a problem when the proportions are off.
He looks dehydrated.
He looks. It just looks awkward the way he's standing and posing, and his neck is super long, and I like there's this perspective is off, and yeah, this is I don't know if I guess I could say it's ugly because it feels like his head is kind of floating almost. Yeah, I'm not buying this, and this is not a con variant for me. I'm sorry. JR, look at his lats on his left side.
Where's JR?
It's just and it just dips in so much. It's like, yeah. He looked like he's starving.
I want to ask him if he bought this. He probably bought this. JR.
Here's the only thing I like about this whole damn picture. The bands, like the band coming off his arm, like his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the tape. It's kind of not fully on. That's the only part I like about this whole thing.
He's so shiny. Why is he so shiny?
He went to the school of Mark Brooks, probably.
So. Yeah. Seriously. And what's with the package, bro? I mean, hey, like I know that's shadow, but it makes him look like he's got elephantitis. Seriously. I mean,
or a melon.
Man, yeah, seriously. I like Shannon Mayer. Shannon Mayer needs to stick to girls. He does them great usually. I'm a little upset with the fact that he pretty much does the same bust over and over and over again. So like, but some of his older covers, like some of his original Zenoscope stuff, is really gorgeous. He has the ability to really knock it out of the park. I don't think this is one of them. There's a rendering mistake here, which is too much shine on this thing.
Yeah, it's a totally rendering mistake for sure.
Yeah, and so as a result, there's the explosion-y stuff going on in the back is kind of a distraction, and the red of the Daredevil logo doesn't really match the cover, and there's a lot of things going on with it that I just don't like, and there's a lot of things I can't unsee about it. So this is a hard pass for me.
Yes, sir. Definitely. All right, let's move it on here.
Yeah, those ribs, good Lord.
Yeah, really. Eat a sandwich, bro.
What ribs? It looks like you took them out and shit. All right. All right. For the Mike Mayhew Studios and Inside Comics, for Mr. Mike Mayhew, limited 800, Mandalorian #3, Star Wars. Mike?
Love this character. I'm really happy that she's on some books. I don't know that I love this from Mayhew, but an 800 LE is a pretty enticing LE for a Star Wars book. I don't know what's happening to the other 2,200 copies of it, but I want to see a video of them being burned. Otherwise, I don't buy it. But otherwise, this is not a bad cover, but it does kind of just feel like a 1 in 10 to me. I know this is a Star exclusive, but it has that 1 in 10 kind of feel to it, which to me means it's a $10 book. It's just okay. There's something weird going on with her armor. It's like in the wrong like aspect or something. That chest armor is a little strange. I get that she's probably turned this way and her head's turned the other way, but it doesn't quite read like that. I love the hammer smash though. That's awesome. The helmet looks cool. I like that her forge is behind her as well, which is super cool. The book isn't bad overall, but I imagine this is probably like a $35 buy-in for this thing or something like that, $30, and that's way too high for this book. This feels like a $10 buy to me.
You know, when I see it and what I think of, it's like a photo that he just dropped on Instagram and put that animation filter on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's what I think he cheated. Personally, but Jeff, go ahead.
She's the armorer. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's what I was exactly thinking. Like it's two different paintings, or he forgot to put a layer of shine or shimmering over the rest of the armor. Because the rest of it doesn't look like it's metal. So I mean, you made the hammer and the helmet so shiny, and it just looks like it's missing a detail of coloring over on top of it. So yeah, it's okay.
I'm calling out a lot of artists these days for this whole like retouched photo thing.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of people are doing this right now, and I don't know why people aren't talking about it, but I'm super vocal. We had another Mayhew, if you remember, there was a Mando cover that we talked about last month
Yes.
that we were I told you I would
I
eat
was
a copy of.
sure.
That was the one I told you I would eat a copy of on the air if someone could prove to me that it wasn't a retouched photo. And I still, by the way, I still stand by that. If you can find legitimate proof, if you can talk to Mike and have him show me the fucking painting, then I will eat a copy, literally the whole thing. I'll swallow it and everything. It'll be the worst day in the bathroom the next day, but I'll do it. And I agree with you now that you've pointed it out, and we pointed it out about the Sweetam earlier that definitely had that feel to it, and now we've got it here again. I think Raza does it all the time, and yet he gets high props and his stuff sells for crazy money. But I think he's just retouching photos a lot of time. Those Knights of Ren books all look like retouched photos. I mean, this, are these guys are good artists. Like, stop taking on so much work that you have to cheat.
Agree.
I want to see what you're capable of the real way. I will pay for it. I will put my money where my mouth is. You give me a cover that is up to your standards, and I will gladly buy that thing. But if you're going to try to cheat me, I'm never buying anything from you again.
Yeah, it could also be like Jeff was saying. It could be two different images just composited together. Because I know with that helmet and that hammer, the shininess, you see the reflection of the one character, and that's a trick you can pull off on this one application called C4D, and it's just a plugin where it does a little shininess and reflects other images from it. So that could definitely be just a different image he created on a 3D software and just plugged it into this art on top of it. So I don't know. It's I guess it's okay, but it's not that great.
When he used to paint stuff, I used to go apeshit for it.
Yes.
Now I don't want any of it.
This is a rush job. That's why I think he just did it on the computer real quick.
I feel recently he's had a lot of rush jobs.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what we got next here. All right. So this is from 616 and Antihero Gallery. This is Amazing Spider number 9 with Spider-Man on the cover from R1C0. I believe that's their name of the artist.
Rico.
Or Rico. That will also work. Mike?
I don't hate this, actually. I'm hoping that in real life this is going to be a little bit brighter or a little bit more contrast. That's sort of bugging me. It's a little bit too, yeah. But I don't hate the art of it. It's sort of different. It kind of has a touch of an anime feel to it without looking anime.
Yeah.
So in that way, I like it. It's got sort of the J. Scott Campbell-y exaggerated sort of curvy thing going on, which sometimes bugs me and sometimes I dig it. But I'm not sure I can put my finger on why exactly I like this cover, but I like the lines of it. I like the angle. If the colors end up being a little brighter, I like the colors. It's a subtle, classy piece of art. And I like it. I don't think I would buy the set, but I might buy the trade dress of it. I'm often enamored with this character and the way she's depicted. I almost always want her damn hood on though, and nobody seems to want to draw her with her fucking hood on. And it really is driving me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people are avoiding that. I mean, I guess they want to draw a pretty face, which is cool, I guess. But so that's maybe my one criticism, that she doesn't have her hood on, because it makes the costume is really cool when it's fully on. I think it was a really great design back in the day. But I like this cover. I would think about buying the trade dress, especially if it were like a $15 buy-in for the trade dress. I might do it.
Jeff.
Okay, so I actually do like Rico's art in the sense that it's has the stylish of anime, or at least the coloring, but it's not like anime style. It almost feels like a Disney-fied kind of anime.
Okay.
So this again, I think I have one issue with this though. It's her face. I do have an issue with the face. It looks very Barbie-ish. It looks very just static, very just there's no I have no sense of what she's doing. She's just kind of just sitting there. Doesn't feel like she's surprised, or it just she just has this look on her face like she's staring. So it kind of looks blah in that sense.
Staring at you, Jeff.
I don't want that stare, dude. It looks kind of creepy. So I agree with Sticks on that. The rest of it, like I said, I love the way he puts the colors. It does remind me of like newer cartoon art. So that's why I like his style. So, but for this, I will probably pass. Just missed the mark on it for me. But it's not bad. So, but again, it's a store exclusive, so you really have to nail me on it. Like you really have to get me. So
I do like one other thing, and this might seem a little strange to say out loud on the air, but I like that he didn't make her boobs huge.
yes, I'm good with that.
I'm really kind of sick of the enormo boob thing. Like enough is enough with that. This is more realistic, and I like it better. It doesn't distract me from the rest of the art. So
She looks like a normal person.
like a normal person, yeah. A normal person in really, really, really good shape, but still a normal person.
Yes.
Yeah, ditto. We'll keep on moving because the next one is the main event for this tonight's show. So let me set up the premise of what's actually going on here. This is Black Flag Comics and Crane exclusive from C2E2. This is the Ultimate Fallout 4 variant, I guess, or whatever mock-up new variant. So shit, what happened? So basically, this is a book that was presented at C2E2 by the Black Flag booth, and there was a line of folks who were there to get it, and I guess there's a big line, and suddenly a group of, not suddenly, I guess within time or before they started selling to the regular line, a group of people who are very influential on Instagram and on YouTube were able to get in front of the line and pretty much buy it at the quantity they wanted to buy. There was folks that bought more than 10, 20, more than 50. And this is a very limited item. I think it was 700 or 750 books. Yeah, so from what I understand, about 37 people who were not really waiting in line just bought the majority up. So, and this is about a $75 to $80 book around there, I guess, so that price point. And they kind of cornered the market and selling the book for about $200 to $300 on Whatnot and eBay and all that stuff. So this also what's crazy about this book, it's that it's just basically an old exclusive that Crane created for Black Flag back in the day, and they literally just stapled acetate on it and drew some new artwork on the acetate, and that's it. And they actually got blue labels on CGC for this, and how that happened, I'm not sure. So that's basically the premise. I probably missed some info on here. Jeff or Mike, you can jump in and fill in.
So, I mean, that sounds about right. I'm not huge on following the whole line of what happened exactly, but if I'm looking at it just from the perspective of what it is, it's the same damn book that they probably couldn't sell at some point. Yeah. That they stapled an acetate thing over the top of, and so that we've seen this happen before, right? I'm going to go in a couple of different directions with this, but
go for it.
We've seen this happen before with what is false created rarity or false created value by a group of people who corner a market, and they pump and dump the book at astronomical prices. They then go on their YouTube channels and on their websites and their Instagrams, and they pretend like this is the next coming of God, and people fall for it. And it happened. And look, I might piss off some friends here. I might piss off some enemies. I don't really give a shit. I'm calling you all out on the carpet for doing this shit. It happened with that fucking Momoko Yoda a couple of years ago. I don't even know whose book that was, but I remember that piece of shit was selling for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for no reason. It's terrible. But it was because,
yeah.
What's that?
There was a couple stores. I think Golden Apple and Franklin's, I think, got that one.
And somebody pumped the shit out of it on Instagram, and then somebody else showed a whole fucking long box of it that they had bought, and they were selling them for whatever, $200, $300, $400, $500, whatever the heck they were. And here it is exactly again. Have we learned nothing? Have we all gone full moron? Like seriously, why are we falling for it again?
Full moron.
Are we really going to do this? Are we really going to? I mean, look, somebody posted a picture of this girl who's surrounded by what's got to be 100 copies of this thing. She bought them all for $75 a piece or $85 a piece. And then what's she going to sell them for now? $300 a piece now. I mean, she even says, I think in her own post, I'm going to go to hell now. Like, she knows like what she did is fucked up and it's going to screw people, because there are some people who legitimately want this book and they probably would have bought it one copy for themselves for 30 or 40 bucks, but now they can't. Now they got to go try to buy it for $300, and it really pisses me off. And what pisses me off most is that there's no value in this book. It's worthless. It's nothing. It's not even the original cover, for God's sake. It's a redone version of the original cover. I don't think Crane didn't do the original cover. Isn't the original cover Bagley?
No, this is a Clayton Crane exclusive cover. That
Yeah.
No, I mean the original Ultimate Fallout 4.
Oh no, yeah, it was Bagley or somebody. It was a completely different artist. He just redid it, I think, last year, and basically just did his art. But this is his art with the acetate stapled on there. So it basically has 4 staples on there as well.
God, it's amazing. I just don't understand why people can't see. Look, when parts of the market fall apart, and they're gonna at some point, especially the variant market. At the end of the day, when everything sifts out, these are the books that are going to be worthless. And if you spend, these are, because it already is worthless. And if you like this art, it's actually ruined by that acetate. Go buy the old one without the acetate on it that looks way cooler. And I'm not blaming Clayton Crane for this. His version of this cover is actually really good. And I'm sure he had nothing to do with the decision to market this that way. And he had nothing to do with 35 people buying them all up and doing the pump and dump nonsense in the market. That's not on Clayton Crane. So if we're looking at this from an artistic standpoint, like we would normally do on this show, I'm fine with the art. It's actually a cool cover, and I like what it is. For people that can't get their hands on a real Ultimate Fallout 4, that facsimile might be the only way to go to get something similar. And so I don't blame those people for that at all. And I don't blame the people who actually want this one. I just can't believe that we're letting the market do this over the same, like 20 people screw the rest of the market over and over and over again, because what? They've got a bunch of followers on Instagram. So the sheep are just going to follow what they say. I mean, I write for CBSI, and people read our articles and they think we're pumping books. We're just literally reporting what we see and putting, like, my articles. It's just what I like. I'm expecting most people to hate everything I say.
I don't care if you buy the damn book that we like.
Yeah, I don't either. I really don't care. And so I know that to a certain degree, people might be looking at me going, "You're the pot that called the kettle black," but that's not what we do on CBSI. And we've called many people out for doing it in the past. And I'm not going to be any less vocal about it now. I don't really care who I piss off by saying what I'm saying, but you guys are fucking people, and it's wrong. And you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, also, how does a book that got extra staples get a blue label?
Yeah, there's that too. I forgot about that. It's damaged. It should be a purple label.
Yeah, because this is not approved by Marvel. Marvel did not know about this. They did not approve that it was not published this way. So there's some collusion there with CGC as well. So yeah, it's a complete clusterfuck. They, greed took over, and that's what happens when you get greedy. You get called out and look like a fool on national stage, pretty much. Yeah. But whatever. It's just, I don't know. I'm I guess in the middle. I could see why people get upset, but it's just like people that are buying it should be aware that this is what's, not everybody's. I guess they're not everybody's aware as we are sometimes, but I don't know. It's just they need to really, stuff like this. They need to really think about it twice, especially by spending $200-$300 on a brand new book that you don't even know if the value's there for that particular book. I understand you're buying an old variant from 10 years ago, and it's been proven that is the going market value. This book just came out, and it's just people are paying this kind of price. And I know it happens all the time every week, but it's especially for a book that's mutilated and has actually been they added shit to it. It's not even that's how it was published. That's what makes it worse. The whole
what up, Robert?
It's craziness, and yeah, I wonder what Marvel's going to do with Black Flag. Are they going to allow them to ask for store exclusives going forward after them kind of soil their name a bit here. So,
And
Jeff.
Sticks, I agree with you, and that's well said. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, you're a veteran, and you know better, and that is why you watch shows like this. That you get, it allows you to start to form your own opinion, and then you decide where your money goes. And at the end of the day, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And from an artistic standpoint, this is a really nice looking book. So I'm not mad at anybody for wanting this book at all. I think it's actually really well worth buying if you could get it at a normal human on the earth price rather than the gouge price that people are trying to get for it. So you're absolutely right, Sticks. You know, educate yourself, use all of the tools at your disposal. Use, comics database, use CBSI, use Nerd Herd, use, you watch Comic Tom, go to Key Collector. I don't care where you go, but gather it all and make the decision rather than just listening to some guy who's telling you to go buy something because he bought 300 of them and needs to sell them.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Just be really, really careful because they're out there. All three of us could name them. We're not gonna, but we could. And it's the same suspects over and over for years and years as well. So just be aware. This is just a public service announcement overall, not just about this book, but just in general. This happens a lot. This just happens to be a very extreme example. Just be careful. Buy what you like at a price you're comfortable with, because it's something you want to own.
Yeah. No. Sorry.
Go ahead, Big Rob.
I was gonna just say also to begin with, $75 to $80 for a brand new exclusive is kind of pricey of retail. It's just wow.
It gets worse, sir.
Go for it.
Wait till I get on my soapbox. Okay, so I don't really care if people accept my opinion or not. It's my opinion. I'm going to speak on the whole damn thing, from the line to the damn publisher or the store that was selling it to the whatnot influencers that people are complaining about. I'll speak on it all. Number one, the line. The people who were complaining the most about this whole damn thing were the people in line. And most of those people who were complaining the loudest were also people who had exhibitors badges, who were also trying to resell.
I heard
this.
That. Yeah.
Okay. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not, I'm not faking the funk here. Everybody got to know that these are the facts in the matter. Like there are people who are complaining that they're resellers, known resellers. And what are they complaining about? Maybe that someone else is going to profit off of this book besides them, or that will profit more than them. Maybe they're pissed that maybe they didn't get enough copies because the other people got more copies.
Yeah.
I really don't care. That has nothing to do with anything, to be quite honest. The fact is all of them were exhibitors. All of them had exhibitor passes at the very beginning, and they're all trying to do the same thing. So calling one another out is just BS to me. It's just the shit calling the shit out. And it's this shit calling how stinky the shit is. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care about that. That has nothing to do with anything. No one should even care about that either, to be quite honest. If you were in line and you were waiting, you saw people cutting, that's a whole different aspect to it, right? And if you don't say anything, it's your fault too. We all take responsibilities for our own actions and inactions. Okay. So if you see someone cutting, you let it just happen and not say a word. You are basically just accepting that they cut, and you're going to accept whatever actions they do at that purchasing, at the table. So you're just as responsible because you can say something, you can do something. It's not like it's, you have to be silenced or just because they're influencers or because they have a YouTube channel or they have a whatnot sellers account that you have no say. It really, that bothers me a lot, that people don't take their own responsibility as well. Just like what was said earlier about, people need to take responsibility about purchasing and what they're purchasing and who they're supporting by purchasing, right? I also want to talk about the influencers, quote unquote influencers, YouTubers, etc., that got in the line. As far as I know, I've gotten conflicting stories. I've been told that some of these people were already in line. I've been told some of these people walked into the line after the line formed. That's neither here or there because I don't have the facts. I wasn't there. So I just call that all BS to me. Okay, whether it happened or not, again, there's no proof to me, right? So we're bitching about nothing in that sense. At least us in the public. The people who were there maybe have something to say, but for me, that's nothing again. In regards to those people who got called out for it, the people who bitched about it are the people who know nothing. They just wanted to bitch about people. Even if they were there, they bitched about people who weren't there. These are facts, okay? They bitched about, and I'm going to say that, I'll say some names. I don't give a shit. Skeleton Keys, Comic Top. These guys didn't buy the book. They weren't, Skeleton Keys wasn't even there. It wasn't even in Chicago. So, like, people need to get their facts straight. Stop jumping to conclusions. Stop jumping on these other people without getting all your facts straight. I'm tired of people jumping to conclusions in this community. You're part of the reason that this community sucks sometimes, because you throwing shit in the wall and hoping it sticks when you don't have all your facts. I don't have all the facts. So what I'm saying is I'm going based on what is known and what has been talked about. Okay. I'm just giving my opinions on those things. As far as anybody who resells, purchases books, why should any of you care? It's in every single hobby. It is proliferated throughout every hobby. There is no hobby where there is not a flipper and multiple flippers. Okay. So why are you guys fighting it? Why are you guys fighting like yelling at the air for nothing? Yes. If you want to have something different about it, you don't talk to the resellers. You don't talk to the people in line. You talk to the people who are publishing and selling this shit. Those are the people who have control of who they sell to and how much they sell to. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't understand where all this blame is coming from. Someone's making a living off of this. Good for them. I don't understand that hate for someone making money. This is America. Last time I checked, and in America, we are a free market world. Okay, so it's a completely entrepreneurial world. We can make money. We can sell things, resell things, if that's what the market is purchasing them at. Okay, so it's on all of you who are purchasing them at those prices. It's on all of you who are getting the FOMO for whatever reason. And it's on you guys for not talking. And I'm not saying, like, don't get upset, but talk to the publisher, talk to the store, talk to the artist. Don't yell, don't scream. Yes, you got upset because you didn't get it. You got upset because you have to pay more. That happens in everything. It's not a single thing that you can't just, push this out as the only one thing issue that we have in our community, okay? Or in any hobby. This is the same thing in every freaking hobby. So the fact that anyone complains about this, it just you're yelling at nothing. No one's listening to you at that point. Okay? You want to change the way the system works, you go talk to the publishers, you go talk to the people selling it. Marvel, the whole book. I'm so sorry, Glenn. I know I'm really on my soapbox right now. I'm sorry. We're
not even close to our usual 2 hours. Come on.
No. As far as the fucking book goes, shame on Black Flag if this is not a Marvel approved alteration to their book. Okay. Shame on Black Flag for hyping it as much as they did. Shame on them for not having the foresight to know that if they limited it to 750 copies with the acetate, to not limit it to the amount of people, how many are bought per person. Okay. If Nerdy Girl goes up there and says, I want 75 fucking copies, and they say, okay, I'm not blaming her. Why would I blame her? They said, okay. They could have said no. They could have said 5 is the max. 2 is the max.
That's true. You're right.
That is absolutely not her fault. If I go to Target for Funko Pops, okay, and this is before all the fights happen, I could buy as many Funko Pops of a single Funko Pop, as many as them as I can purchase at one time, and that was there. Okay, now they limit it to 1 per guest. Okay, this is the same reason why, because people bitched and moaned about it to Target that these were exclusives, they're more limited. How can I get a hold of it when you got 2 people buying up the whole stock, right? And we've all been waiting in line the same amount of time. I get all of that, but that's not who you complain to. You don't complain to the damn people who are purchasing it. You don't complain to the damn people who are selling it. You complain to the people reselling it. You complain to the actual company. And on top of that, yes, I'm going to mention CGC. CGC is not the ultimate, president of everything that's comic grading and everything that has to do with comics. Okay, they are not the ultimate of anything. All right, they're a grading company who wants to make a profit. Look what they did with Bad Idea. They fucking made a blank fucking comic book. Basically, nothing was in it, and they graded it. That's worse than this grading. At least they put a book inside the thing. But the fact is that if this is not Marvel approved, they should had no business grading it, because it's just basically a fake comic book.
Yep.
Anybody could have done it.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I know, like, it's number 2 on the CBSI Hot 10 this week. I'm sure we're going to get all kinds of bullshit from people saying that we're helping to sell this book. Look, Ben will be the first one to tell you. I'll be the second one to tell you if I have to. That's Ben Stein, who does the Hot 10. He's just reporting sales. Simple as that. He's just looking up how many got sold for how much money, and it was number 2 on the list this week. Simple as that. But exactly what Jeff said, people will extrapolate information incorrectly, and they will bitch and moan that we have something to do with, I say we as if I have anything to do with the Hot 10 list. I mean, my 2 articles are the least spec articles on the whole site. But at the end of the day, as a team, I don't want to hear the bullshit backlash from it as if we had something to do with it, or any of the people who, like you said, wanted to make money off the ones they bought. Shit, I'll tell you what. If I thought this thing was going to be a $300 book and I could buy 75 copies of it, I would do it too. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing, though. It's not about any of those people, like Jeff said. I agree. It's the stuff on both sides. It's the CGC grading it. It's Black Flag trying to get away with it, bumping up the price to $80 or $85, and then $100 later once they were low on stock or whatever it ended up being. Like, that's really dirty shit right there. That's not. I don't think that's cool
for an old book too. An old fucking
book too on top of it that's been damaged.
It's a 6-7 month old book.
And this is an if, because I'm nowhere near Chicago and I didn't go. But if they let people cut the line to do it too, that's even more bullshit. So I hope they didn't do that, because that's even worse. As if it's not bad enough what they did. That's even worse if they let that happen. So
if the company showed favoritism, that's on that company. That has nothing to do with the people who got the benefit of that favoritism.
No. And it also has nothing to do with Clayton Crane, who I'm sure had nothing to do with any of this.
I agree with you, Jeff, on that. I think the people's complaint is just the morality of the folks doing it.
Here's my whole thing and spiel. Okay, we live in America. I don't know where you are right now, but if you live in America and you're bitching about this, go fuck yourself in a whole lot of words. Okay, because to me, they don't have to care about you getting a copy. That's not their responsibility. It should be no one's responsibility unless it's your friends or family like that, and they're willing to do you the favor. It's not even their responsibility. The fact is you're not entitled to shit in this world. Okay?
That's the truth.
And the fact is that people are bitching and moaning about a collectible. I got better shit to do. And I love collecting comic books and talking about it. But I'm not wasting my fucking energy on this BS.
I just think this subject brings up a lot of just a lot of dirt for people in the whole collectible industry and just everything in general, like just the whole aspect of grading comic books, the grading the video games, VHS tapes, the whole it just kind of feels off, a little dirty in a way. I think everybody just gets that feeling like.
But call those out.
You're always
That's what you call out.
Yeah, but
right?
this is the feeling that folks that it might not even be based on logic. It's all obviously it's all on feelings because it's all emotions always run amok. It's just like something about it just off, and it turns people off. And I could see, I understand both sides totally. It's just
no, I get it. I've been on both sides.
Depends on I've been the guy that's been bitter because I didn't get something. I've been the guy that's got a bunch of shit, and I go, fuck you, I'm on my own. I've been both of the guys. That's why with time I've learned it. Just as part of the game, I understand it. But I remember when CGC started, I did not like it. I was not into it at all. I just kind of disliked it, and I just thought it was just creating speculation and just bringing in people that don't give a shit about the community and comics in general, and just turning everybody into investors instead of collectors. But that was just my opinion back then. So, but it is what it is now, and I saw that happen with video games. In video games, it just became a fucking shit show, and it just became a bunch of speculators buying video games. I think that's happening with VHS tapes nowadays. It's a bunch of speculators buying VHS tape, not actual collectors.
Same thing with a comic book spec.
Vinyl
cards, exact same thing.
Vinyl cards, everything, toys. So that's why me personally, I don't like to sell too much because it's just not. I don't have the energy. I'm not interested. I don't get off on trying to. I appreciate making money. I have a job and I like to make money and make extra money. That's cool. But it's not the main point of this to me. The main point of this is just to have fun and enjoy it. It's like when I go to Comic-Con, I go there, have a good time, and getting shit to resell, that's secondary. That's not important. I guess all those feelings come about. The subject just brought up a lot of fucking.
It's a bad taste.
Yeah, it just brought up. It's maybe not even just the actual thing that happened. It's just the narrative of the whole. It brought memories to a lot of folks, and
this is just an extreme example of things that have gone on in this industry the whole time. Most of us have collected, and you're right, Rob. It gives you that sort of dirty feeling in the background, like that these people are all kind of working together against the rest of us in some ways, in order to make a buck, which again is their right to do, but the transparency isn't there. And I think especially for new collectors, we call them noobs if you want to call them noobs, they don't know that that's how this works. They don't know that
that's the problem.
And they're falling for it. And it's really, really bad because these people are dumping money. It's the 90s all over again when it comes to this kind of stuff, when these books have no real value. And then all of a sudden you're going to tell them it does. And then if you have enough influence, once you're sold out, you're going to do your best to drive the price back down so you can repeat the process over and over and over again. It's bad. And I mean, I can show you right out of my closet at least 4 CGC 9.8s that I would feel guilty selling as 9.8s. They're not 9.8s.
A couple of those books.
I mean, they're just not. I mean, on no planet are they 9.8s, but the slab says 9.8 on them. And in some cases, two that come to mind in my own closet, we're talking about like at least a 400% markup on those two books because they're 9.8s and not 9.6s. And that's crazy because they're not really 9.8s. So just because one dude sat at a table and said it was a 9.8 and put a blue label on it means that the thing is worth like $5,000 now instead of $1,000. That's bullshit.
That's crazy.
When I could crack that case, send the same book in and get a 9.4 tomorrow.
They have so much power over the fucking market. That's craziness.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't like that either. That's a different conversation for a different day. But that's
I
just
think
an example of how they're all tied together.
I think the point is we're all our own person. We can all make our own decisions. We can all look at facts and look them up. We can do all these things on our own. Yes, we give as much information as we possibly can, but we try not to influence you in any way in that sense.
Except
like,
tonight.
oh, you got to buy this, or I definitely, you need to get this. Like, sure, I'll suggest it, or I was like, yeah, if you want to, but it's not a have to. So you see our shows, you see other people's shows who give their opinions. You don't even have to listen to any of us. You literally can take all that information and throw the fuck out and make your own, right? As long as it's your decision, don't base it on other people, because if you do, you're going to end up losing because it's not you.
Right.
This is my opinion. Just save up the money. Don't buy this fucking book. Save up the money and save up some more and buy the real one.
Yep. I agree. Even a not near mint real copy of it raw would be cooler to you, I bet you, in 10 years from now than this book ever will be.
Oh, I absolutely agree, because considering on the back it's misspelled or misquoted. It says, "In God we entrust."
Yes, Sticks, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I am trying to manipulate you all. I do.
If you don't like booty already,
I do want you to buy more butt covers, and I want them to make more butt covers.
But
yes.
That was a little selfish,
Jeff. But we gotta admit, the memes on this fucking shit is awesome. The memes are out of control.
Oh, the memes are hysterical.
I get it. Like I said, I've been on the other end where I've been bitter about not getting something, and I've seen other people get more than one, right?
Oh, yeah.
But in the end of it all, I have to be an adult about the whole situation. Okay. Number one, it's a fucking collectible. Number two, it's not the end of the world. And number three, well, good on them. Maybe I'll get the next one.
That is true. Can we all just remember that these are comic books, guys?
Yeah.
Comic books. Nothing that happens with these things is going to change the world in any significant way. Let's just all step back for a second and
Don't explain it to Ukraine and Taiwan. This is very important. No.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If that doesn't put it in perspective, then I don't know what does. So just, let's try to have fun with this thing. Let's really all just try to have fun with this thing.
All right.
And talk more about booty covers.
All right. So
we always say it. If you want to do it right, collect what you like.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And that leads us into Mike.
Okay. All right. Cover Fire this week's got some goodies. It's a really long list this week. I'm sorry if I overdid it, but I was excited about a bunch of covers. There's some good stuff coming. Cover Fire is my CBSI article every week, which goes through the non-incentive, non-store exclusive covers that I like for the week. Again, that I like. Most of which I will probably buy for me. I'm not telling you to buy them. I'm just telling you why I like them. If we're in tandem off the last conversation. Cover tunes. I am finally writing the new ones. I am back. My baby is now almost 3 months old. So I have some life and I have a little bit of free time to go back and write that. So it will not drop this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we will finally have Cover Tunes back. I'm really excited to revamp it a little bit and get back on track with Cover Tunes. They'll be a little shorter than they used to be. I think that's better. Less is better in this case. So stay tuned for new Cover Tunes coming not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So 10 days from now or 9 days from now.
Awesome. All right, Mike. And upcoming shows. Do we have anything on here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we do. Jeff, want to talk about it?
Hey, look at that. This Thursday, this week we get twice the mic. And so will all of you. If you tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Is that what time you're coming on?
I guess so.
Okay. For our Thursday Mondo Mail Call, where our special guest is going to be Mike at Morello Tunes. So tune in this Thursday. We're going to have a bunch of questions for him. You'll get to know him better. And I'm sure we'll talk about some booty covers here and there.
Awesome. All right. Let's move it on.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, it's I guess me and you, Jeff. All right, it's Teen Her Podcast, Saturday morning toy box. This is Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's basically the show is just reviewing all the pre-orders, solicitations for toys, statues, action figures, all that nerdy cool stuff in plastic form. So join us at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern, and let's talk about toys and Saturday morning toy box. Me, Jeff, and Steve of Hip Hops and Comics.
We it's too early for us Californians, but 10 a.m. is not that really early, but we'll have our coffee and we'll talk about toys.
Cereal.
But Mike's Cover Fire Cover Tunes is on the CBSI Facebook page. They have the articles connected to all of that. You can find CBSI also on IG.
No, it does not have its own dedicated space. No, I don't really advertise it like that.
Yeah, but you'll get the link to the article from the Facebook page or a group, right?
Right. Every once in a while, my Morello Tunes IG will have an ad for that week's article, but I used to do it a lot. I didn't really see any traction from it, so I kind of stopped doing it, and I just post ridiculous nerd stuff on there now.
Just go to cbsi.com.
Yeah, to cbsi.com or the CBSI Comic Book Invest CBSI on Instagram, and you'll find all the things you like.
So lucky.
Oh, wow, you did? Oh, you lucky.
So
all right.
lucky.
Announcements? We have any announcements here?
Yes.
Hey, Jeff.
So Bird City Comics is one of those stores that has those store exclusives. And if you've heard, there's a Super Mario Brothers 3, 8 billion genies exclusive that has been in fuego. So I know y'all missed out on it because I know it's sold out. So if you ever want to go there and get some comic books, you can save 10% by putting in TNH 10. If you buy over $100, you're going to get free shipping from Bird City Comics. And I love Ant. I love Laura. They are great people. They love comics and they love what they do. They really enjoy getting covers and artists to do their covers. So if you ever have a question, talk to them.
Again, in tandem with our last conversation, plugging a store like this really makes me happy because they legitimately get excited. Like when Laura gets a piece of art that she loves for one of their covers, she'll instantly text me. She'll instantly throw me a message on Instagram. Dude, do you like this? Please tell me you like this. I love it. They get super amped up about the stuff they sell. Their heart is in it for the right reasons. Yeah, it's a business, of course, but they really do it. They do it right. And I appreciate Ant and Laura for doing it the right way. So.
And by the way, Mike, you knocked that out of the park near Nirvana last Friday.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Guys. Thank you. That was really, really fun. I felt really honored to be on there with them, and it was really, really cool to do. And some of those covers are my all-time favorites, and a lot of them are kind of worthless.
Go check that out on the Rewind. It's on Nearing Nirvana's YouTube channel. Laura is on Nearing Nirvana, or as part of Nearing Nirvana. So go check them out. The ladies are awesome. They have knowledge, talk about great stuff about comic books, artists, different genres. So go check them out.
Awesome. Okay. So that's it. We're done for the day. Thanks for joining us. Monday, always awesome, having fun. And I'm trying to end this. How do you end this? Oh, there it is. Bye-bye.